Good morning, good morning. We're going back across the field because that was a nice little, this was a nice little wander on Tuesday. Oh look, some ducks. Right, so 4 reasons why you literally don't stand a chance. And this is going to sound a bit like a rant, but it's not a rant because, well, to date at least, I forgot which way I went. To date at least, I'm not really a ranter, so I don't really do rants. I wish this was a rant, but it's not, it's reality. And this is a conversation that I had last night. Shared dinner with some of my family last night and had a conversation about this. And the reality is, everything's stacked against you. And I do wish this was a rant, but it is actually the reality. And there's 4 real main barriers that are stopping you from doing what you need to do. And you really don't stand a chance. It's like these things, economy, well, not the economy so much, the government, society, the way we live our lives, the reality in 2020. There's 4 main things that they just get in your way. They stop you from being able to do what you want to do, and you really don't stand a chance unless you can overcome them. So I'm going to take you through these 4 things so you can start to tune into them, and then I'm going to give you some life hacks to help you overcome it. Those of you that saw the post last week, just randomly, about our development site, how we use some advanced strategies during lockdown because of COVID, only because of COVID, purely because of COVID. During lockdown, we spent £40,000 on a site and made 400,000 only because of lockdown, only because of COVID, only because of the strategy we used. Rather than post it, I'm going to do a live call tomorrow at, I think it's 3 o'clock, 3 till 4. I'll put a link in the comments to this video. But if you go on my profile, there's a post from yesterday. Join us on there for an hour and I'll show you how we use some advanced strategies to make £400,000 off a £40,000 refurb during lockdown completely because of COVID. To get anywhere near that, we need to overcome the basics. And we train people on this on Property Entrepreneur all year long. It's easy to overcome, all the solutions are reasonably easy. But the reality is all of this stuff is hugely stacked against you. And there's 4 things that are going to get in your way, and we need to figure out how to overcome them. So these things that are just thrown in your face that you have to work quite hard to overcome. The first one is your diet. We're set up in this society to eat rubbish, and your body, your brain is a machine. It needs to be moving, it needs to be clean, it needs to work well. But the reality is, you go anyway, it's so hard to achieve that. It's so hard to be clean. It's so hard to get fresh food that's full of nutrients. Even if you go for meat and veg, you're still looking at how they're actually produced, what are they injected with. Should you eat meat? Shouldn't you eat meat? You walk into a supermarket, so walk down, I'll go to Sainsbury's. When I'm in the office on a Monday, I go to Sainsbury's to get my breakfast. And I was walking down the aisle this week and I was just getting some steps in while I was walking around. I walked down some aisles I wouldn't normally go down, like the sweets, the biscuits. And it's all bright colours. It's highly produced or processed. Sorry. And probably 85% of the stuff that's in a supermarket you shouldn't actually eat. Like it's not created. Your bodies, back in the day when we were cavemen and women, and we were living off the land, which has now been over-farmed, so it's already got deficiencies in it anyway. You didn't have crispy pancakes and chicken nuggets and processed meats. You don't stand a chance of eating clean unless you really understand what you're doing, because everything that's made available to us in service stations, in shops, in cafes, it's rich with things that are going to slow you down. And in order for you to be on top performance, you need to be clean. And the reality is that's just not on the shelf. So the first thing is diet. We need to be clean. We need to be operating on maximum performance. The body needs to be moving. It needs to be full of energy. But the reality is most people don't, because it can be, well, it's not expensive. That's not fair to say. But food is so readily available that's bad. You just don't stand a chance of eating clean unless you go out of your way to do it. So the first thing is diet. The second is distractions. It's like the government and society want to get in your way, because all day, every day, they're trying to distract you from where you want to go. So you want to head in this direction. You want to head over this hill. You want to achieve whatever it is. You want to be an athlete, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a professional, you want to be a high performer in whatever you do. All day, every day, from the second you wake up, the world has been created to give you distractions. And this is like your phone. Your phone is created to be seductive. It's bright lights, it's bright colours. It's created to be a distraction. WhatsApp, Facebook, adverts on the internet. Everything is created to distract you. And back in the day, again, when we take this back to, let's just keep talking about cavemen and women. We used to get endorphin hits and serotonin hits and these little buzzes of success, these little success triggers. We used to get it from catching animals. So we'd go hunting. I don't know if this is the way I came the other day. It's a bit bumpier. We used to get it from hunting. So you'd go hunting for hours or days at a time, or even a week, to catch whatever, something that you're going to eat. And then you finally catch it and you get a huge endorphin hit. You get a huge feeling of success because you've achieved something big. We don't have to do that nowadays. We just go on Facebook and it's like ding, notification, WhatsApp, ding, message, Slack, email, YouTube, Instagram, ding, 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 ding. And all day, every day, we're distracted by these things. And the conversation I was saying, and this is all of us, we've just got to figure out the hacks to do it. The conversation I was having yesterday, I was saying, there was an example yesterday. I was working through my to-do list. There's a whole model we use for productivity, which I'll share with you at some point on Property Entrepreneur. Working through my to-do list, and I had to jump on WhatsApp to do something, and 25 minutes later I'd ended up in my email because I'd gone in there to send a photo to somebody or images of a site to somebody, and before I knew it I was in WhatsApp. I then answered a message to somebody else had asked me a question. There was a quick 30-second voice note. I then looked up something else on the internet, ended up, and I was like, 25 minutes had gone, but I went to do a 30-second task and 20 minutes had gone by and I've disappeared into, I've been distracted. And there's all these distractions that get in our way that stop us from doing what we want to do. And you literally don't stand a chance. You've got to work really hard not to get distracted by ding, 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 instant gratification, or disappearing off on, I mean, how many of you have spent time on social media or YouTube, or you pick your phone up to do something for 2 seconds and you turn around 45 minutes later and you're just aimlessly scrolling and you're like, ooh. It's, the second one is distractions. The world is built to distract you, and we have to work quite hard to get past that. I am going to give you hacks for all of these, so don't worry. And hopefully these are resonating, because I'm sure you've already experienced most of these today. Getting up and having jam on toast, flicking through social media and YouTube and the news and Instagram, all these things that get in our way. The third one is negativity. Now, I'm only sharing these things to be of value to you. I hope it isn't sounding like a rant, and I'm not being negative. I'm trying to support you with these things that get in our way. The third one is negativity. We live in a world, and this has become so apparent that it's fed down from the top in the last 12 weeks. Negativity. Some people light a room up. Some people suck the living daylight out of it. And there's probably only 2% of people who are genuinely positive. They're loving life, they're adding value to others, they're sharing their energy. And then everywhere else around us is negativity. So the front page of the paper is negative, the news is negative, the radio is negative. I was listening to, so don't listen to the news, that's obviously one sort of thing. However, you do need to know what's going on. And I listen to a lot of news because on Property Entrepreneur is the go-to place for property. Like, when you're on Property Entrepreneur, you don't need to read the news or anything like that. You get all of the up-to-date information on economics, the market, strategies, tax changes. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on. But obviously, I have to research it all, so I listen to a lot of news. I actually had to turn off yesterday. So Rishi Sunak yesterday did 2 hours to the Treasury, questions from the Treasury. And if you listen to the daily announcement, or you listen to anything. You do the Prime Minister's announcement or the daily announcement, and then the press get in. They're not interested in exploring anything. All they're interested in is got ya, and asking stupid questions and being negative and trying to tear people to pieces. It's too fast, it's too slow, it's too quick, it's too big, it's too small. It's like, what's the chance do you stand? They're just sitting there for an hour and they're like, right, I'm just going to get hammered for an hour of people being negative about everything I've got to do. How facilitating is that to where you want to get to? And we're surrounded by it. We're surrounded by it in the press. We're surrounded by it in the media. The only thing anyone's interested in is clickbait and headlines. And this negativity can just draw you down. I've been working on my positivity for years, my whole life. And I'm going to share with you a couple of hacks. And I physically have to turn it off. I can't be around negative people. I feel them sucking the living daylights out of me. And listening to the news, I'm like, it's cringeworthy. And there's only one thing worse than reporters. And that's like people in Parliament not answering the questions. So the third thing is negativity. And then the fourth thing is pulling the trigger. It's so hard to actually make that leap of faith and just actually get it done. It's so hard to actually pull the trigger and say, right, I'm doing this. It's on. I need to get the flywheel going, because the first stage of anything is so hard. And it's created like that because, well, why is it? You know, we literally don't stand a chance. The first part of everything is so hard. The first mile of a 20-mile run is nearly impossible. The first year in business is crippling. The first thing of anything is so painful. So you really don't stand a chance. And the default is, again, by whether it comes from society or the government, the way we live our lives, is there some ultimate power that's stopping us from trying to be who we want to be, or trying to better ourselves? Because it's so easy to, you know, I'm not going to get up. I'm going to lay in a little bit longer, or I'm not going to read a book today. I'm just going to bang on YouTube or stick on Netflix and just cruise my way through the weekend or the afternoon or the evening. Everything's created to try and slow us down and to stop us. And I genuinely think unless you work on it, you really don't stand a chance. So 4 life hacks, or life hacks for those four issues or 4 challenges. So the first one's diet. I would highly recommend, and this is not easy, granted, but the first month won't be easy, but then after that it's a habit. On Property Entrepreneur, we do 28-day challenge. We have nutritionists, we have personal trainers, and we take everyone through this journey. Once you've done it for 28 days, it changes your life. In fact, I was speaking to one of our property entrepreneurs has applied to join our Incubator Program. So we launched a new Incubator Program this year where I actually joint venture with businesses and work with them as a business partner rather than a mentor, because I just don't have the capacity to start new businesses. But there's phenomenal amount of opportunity out there at the minute. And she was saying, so she started Property Entrepreneur a year ago, and she was saying she was looking at photos of herself from a year ago, and so she was embarrassed. She said she looked like a fat cow, and she couldn't even run 100 metres. This year, she's already, we've got a charity called Get Up and Give Back. She's already literally turned her life around, fitness-wise, physically, and looks and feels like a completely different person. What we need to do is overcome these challenges that you all have to get yourselves clean. So here's a few things that I would recommend, a few hacks to get yourself there. The first would probably be is to understand what your body is a vehicle, and we need to fill it up with fuel. If you filled your car up with gravy and chips, it wouldn't go very far and it wouldn't last very long. First thing is to understand that your body is a vehicle and we need to have it clean. And this means getting rid of the things that stop us being clean. So it's starting to push things out of our diet, like, again, these are created to get in your way. Sugar, salt, everything's just pumped with it. These things are addictive. We've all been there. During lockdown, it was my excuse to treat every day like Christmas Day, eating all the tasty things that you wouldn't normally eat. Good habits are as addictive as bad habits. Good habits just have a significantly better outcome. So one thing would be to understand that your body is a vehicle and we want to fuel it effectively. You want to feel energized. You want to feel on it. It's so fundamental to what you do. It's literally life-changing, and you won't realize how good it is until you actually do it. And equally, you don't remember how good it is when you're doing it until you take your eye off the ball and have a couple of bad months. And we're all human. The pendulum swings. You know, I'm with you on it. Next thing would be to understand what your body needs. So at the basic level would be your calorie count. Go online, put in your sex, your age, your height and your weight, and it will give you roughly, obviously everyone has different metabolisms, things like that. It will give you roughly your calorie count as a basic, and say, right, well, that's my calorie count that I want to work with. If you want to go more advanced, look up your macros. So your macros is what percentage of your daily food allowance should be proteins, what should be carbs, and what should be fats. That's more advanced, and you can use something like MyFitnessPal to track that. Very, very easy, like very, very easy. So at a basic level, I would say create some rules. So when you know how many calories you can eat on a daily basis. So this is the rule that I use. So I have got a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and when I'm doing something aggressive like a cut or a training, then I'll have a specific plan for that. When I'm in like a maintenance phase, which I'm in now, which is just about trying to maintain myself at the current position, what I do here, this is my rule, is my calorie intake. I'm quite light for my size. My calorie intake is about 2,000 calories a day for what's called maintenance. So if I eat 2,000 calories a day, I won't lose any weight, I won't put any weight on, I'll maintain, which is where I am at the minute. So what I do is I take that calorie count, you'll find yours online, divide it by 4, and then what that equals is 3 meals a day of 500. So mine is 2,000 calories divided by 4 is 500, 500, 500, 500. I then have 3 meals, which when I work out what the calories are, which is very easy. It doesn't matter if you're eating rice or veg or whatever, you just scan it on MyFitnessPal, look at the packaging, very straightforward. And my rule is 500 calories a meal. So that's breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then 500s for what I call condiments and cock-ups. So condiments, I like spicy food, I like dressings, things like that. I don't go crazy on it, but I don't eat things like mayonnaise, which are full of fat. But condiments and cock-ups. So what that means is I can eat 3 meals of 500 calories, which is a good size meal, 500 calories. And then I've got 500 calories, which will either buffer me between days when I have condiments and cock-ups, or it's just that little bit of overflow. So that's one rule I'd encourage you to do. The second is with diet would be is meal times. So Akash from RNT, who's my trainer and trains all of the property entrepreneurs when we do the Get Up and Give Back charity run every year, he calls it decision fatigue. And what I encourage you to do is make meals something to look forward to, make it like a reward, and take the thought out of it. So you're not thinking all day, oh, I'm hungry. Take the decision fatigue out of it. And what this involves is planning your meal times. So I eat at 10 a.m. is my breakfast. So I fast in the morning. I've quite a long fast between my dinner and my breakfast. Just because I like it. I think it makes me feel light in the morning. I've not eaten yet today. I'll eat at 10. Then I have my lunch at 3. So what we're doing is closing the eating windows, and then I have my dinner at 6. And my meal plan, you can do yours whatever you want. Mine's quite basic. I eat meat. I'm quite happy eating meat. So for breakfast, I have a slice of sourdough toast, two whole scrambled eggs, and 100 grams of protein of salmon. For lunch, I'll have either a slice of sourdough toast or a wrap, and I'll just bulk it out with loads of salad, literally lettuce, onions, raw beans. And it's tasty, it's amazing. I'm not even living on dust, but I'm just being strategic and deliberate about what I eat. And then for dinner, I'll have meat, veg, and a carb. So meat, veg, and rice. I normally have chicken or a lean mince, whether it's pork mince or beef or lamb mince. I'll have a lean or chicken. I'll have a lean meat and a carb and veg. Normally like a stir fry or sticky rice, things like that. So diet. A few things there to sort of help you with your diet. Getting your body clean is amazing. It doesn't take more than a week to flush out all the terrible stuff. If it's processed, don't eat it. If it's beige, probably avoid it. If it's come out of a factory, it's probably one to be avoided. Just get clean, give that a crack. Second thing is distractions. We don't stand a chance of getting stuff done when we're distracted all day, every day by social media, text messages, WhatsApp, Slack, phone calls, everything. So a few hacks here. The first thing is your phone is addictive. It's designed to be addictive. Facebook is designed to be addictive. It's good for certain things, but it needs to serve you, not the other way around. You don't want to be addicted to it. It's a portal to nowhere, your phone. So a few things I'd recommend. One is lock it. So you've got an app on your phone, if you've got an iPhone, called Screen Lock. And what I encourage you to do is lock it. Mine's locked from 7 p.m. in the evening to 8:30 in the morning. Obviously, within that time, sometimes I need to unlock it if I know that I need to send a message to somebody, or like this morning, unlock it to do this Facebook Live. But in the main, the rule is it's locked. It does it automatically. It's locked from 7 p.m. till 8:30 in the morning. And that takes a little while to get out of. I got into a really bad habit during lockdown of getting up and checking my phone. It puts you on the back foot before you've even started. So yeah, lock your phone. Another thing, and this is a few life changes for you, these hacks. The next is turn it onto black and white mode. I don't understand why anyone has their phone on colour. It is seductive. It sucks your energy out. It makes you want to play with it, makes you want to touch it. It's seductive. Turn it into black and white. You can activate it on your phone. Mine is a triple click on the right hand side and it turns it into black and white. 95% of the time my phone is black and white. So turn it black and white, get rid of the colour, because it's just a distraction. It's distracting, it's seductive, it's pulling you away. Like, definitely do that. And then the third would be, well, probably third and fourth would be turn the notifications off on your phone. My phone's always on silent and I don't have any visible notifications at all on any apps. Turn off all your notifications. And then one of the biggest life changes for me in the last 3 years or so has been to delete email off your phone. Email is not I've come out a completely different way to the other day. Look at that, they're building boats. It's two half-built boats there. Would be to delete emails off your phone. So email is not an instant messaging platform. If you want to be productive, if people want to get you now, they'll send you a text or they'll send you a WhatsApp. Email is not an instant messaging platform. And if you've got a business which relies on that, then it's time to start getting some gatekeepers. You want to build your team who are there all day, every day, looking after your clients. Email is not an instant messaging platform. You want to get to a point where you can actually delete it off your phone and go on there however frequently. I go on mine maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Well, I was saying that. Yeah, normally Monday and Wednesday is like my day-to-day stuff. And then Friday, I'll do a bit of clearing the decks at the end of the week. Delete email off your phone because it's a distraction. So things like that will really help you and really help your productivity to stop those distractions. Lock your phone, turn your notifications off, delete your emails, and just be strict about what you do and how long you spend on it. If you use the app Screen Time, it will show you how much time you spent on social media, emails, things like that. So that's the second one, distractions. Third one was positivity and negativity. How do you get away from the fact that everybody is negative? You've got friends and family and media and the news and everything is negative. They're just trying to stop anyone doing anything. You know, the world's so bad, you'd be better off locking yourself at home. It's crazy, but that's not reality. That's most people's reality. We want to get you guys ahead and above and beyond that to push forward. So how do we get positive? The best life hack I could recommend, best life hack I could recommend would be to read a book by a guy called Andy Cope and another Andy, I can't remember his name, and it's called The Art of Being Brilliant. You'll get through it in 2 hours. It's a tiny book. It's got nice little funny cartoons in it, and it talks about 2%ers and mood hoovers. You want to be a 2%er. The other 98% are mood hoovers. And what you want to do is you want to start to get to a point where you find the positive in absolutely everything. The worst thing could happen and you find positivity in it. There's no problems in life, only solutions. And I highly encourage you engage with that. Try and disengage from some of the negative things like the news, newspapers, news forums. You read magazines, like especially, no disrespect ladies, women's magazines. And it's like 30 pages of how horrendous some people's lives have been and how badly they've been treated by a partner or a life experience. You just think, blimey, if this is the stuff we're being told to consume, what chance does anyone stand? Like, you really don't stand a chance of breaking through, and that's your mental diet. You know, your mental diet is as important as your physical diet. So positivity is the next one. Read The Art of Being Brilliant and start to see the positive in everything, and just think in life, there's no problems, only solutions, and we don't want to wallow in the problems because that's just self-defeating. There is genuinely no problems, only solutions. What did I say yesterday when I was having this conversation? It'll all be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. we've had the worst experiences ever in life, I've had some really challenging experiences in life, in business, with people and employees and business deals and partners, and you know, life's rough, it's challenging, but you find the positive in all of it. It's like, just get your head down and drive through. Don't wallow in the pity, don't drown yourself in it. And then number 4 is, so the challenge of actually pulling the trigger. There's so many things getting in your way to stop you from taking that first leap. The first week, the first month, the first year is always the hardest. So it's like there's this spike and this barrier stopping you get there. The final sort of hack is pulling the trigger. And I alluded to this on Tuesday's video when I was talking about, I started talking about going for a run. I was saying nobody wants to go for a run. I hate going for a run, but I love having been for a run. And when I'm going for a run, I'm trying to beat a time. If I'm trying to do, most recently when I was running, I was trying to do 5k in 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. So how can I run faster? You've got to pull the trigger, you've got to raise the stakes. You're the first one to let yourself down, and you've got to find artificial ways to make you to do stuff. I said to you Tuesday about turning the shower on. Like I live on a boat, and so the hot water is a scarcity. If I think about getting in the shower, I can delay that for ages. But if I just walk up to the shower, turn the water on, all of a sudden it's like, right, I need to get in there quick and get out because I'm wasting water. Change things like that. When I go for a run and I'm trying to get a good time, I'm running down the road like this. And if I see a car coming, I'll run out in front of the car, not dangerously. I don't want to create injury or concern for myself or the driver. It's not far enough away, but when you're in the middle of the road, all of a sudden you've got that urgency to start running faster because there's a reason. You've raised the stakes and you've pushed it forward. I don't really like marketing and sales, but every year, obviously, for Property Entrepreneur, I get wheeled out and I'm doing my marketing and things like that, training people on what we do. So I don't always want to do it, but I'm not driven by the financial benefit of it. I don't hugely enjoy it. I'm an introvert, not an extrovert, which might surprise you. So it takes quite a lot of my energy up. I'm like, right, I need to raise the stakes. So I booked the Belfry, which is £250,000, £300,000, and sign the contracts. And it's like, right, I've just put £250,000, £300,000 down, which I've now got to pay, and I've not sold a single place on Property Entrepreneur. I better seriously pull my finger out and go for it. What can you do to raise the stakes? How can you make things be required? The amount of you that have messaged me over the last week or so saying either one, that these videos have motivated you and you're going to pull the trigger, or 2, which is probably a similar amount, is that you're on the fence and you're ready for the next challenge, you want to move forward, but you haven't pulled the trigger. What can you do to actually raise the stakes? How can you put your head on the block? How can you increase the pain? On Property Entrepreneur, we talk about burning the boats. What can you do to burn the boats? And we do it all the time at PPN UK with Portfolio Builder. We buy deals. I buy stuff at auction when I've got no cash. I have all my cash tied up in, I might have all my cash tied up in deals. I might have all my cash tied up in deals and not have any liquid capital, but we'll see a banging deal. We'll say, right, bang, we'll buy it. Say we're going to buy it. And they're like, right, midday, you've got to put a 10% deposit down. I'm like, right, okay. Quickly scupper around, put 10% deposit down. Now you've got 50, 100 grand in the game. It's like, right, now I've got to raise the other 3, 4, 500,000 pounds to get the deal done. If I sat there thinking, no, I haven't got any money, I can't do a deal, I'm not going to be that motivated. If I just stand up at the auction and say, yeah, I'm buying that site, then it's like, right, I've burnt the boat, so I've got no option now but to get this done. So the final one is to pull the trigger, is to do whatever is required to pull the trigger. Put some money down, buy something, promise to somebody you're going to do something, tell people, publish it on social media. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Like, do whatever you need to do to raise the stakes, because the reality is none of us stand a chance because it's so easy not to do what we want to do. It's so easy to sit down and do nothing. It's so easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, it's crazy. So we do a whole methodology on Property Entrepreneur called Raise the Stakes and Pull the Trigger, and pre-race briefing and full steam ahead. Like, all of these hacks they're very predictable, and when you learn how to do them and you put them into your life, they're literally game changing. Well, I've got to go anyway. I've got a call at 8. So wish you all the best. Have a great day. And yeah, all of these things are in the way of everyone, like myself included. The reality is, all you've got to do is become one of those 2%ers that actually steps up. You want to be the high performer, you want to be the high achiever, just pull the trigger. learn these little things, get your body clean, avoid the distractions, focus on the goal, and then lock in. The rest will come. Like 99% is 1%, was it 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Just step up, pull the trigger, and you'll enjoy it when you get going. We all like a bit of masochistic pain and pressure to get things done. So yeah, fill your boots. Hope that helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow on the live. It won't be on here, it'll be on GoToWebinar, I think, but I'll put a link in here. Register for it. I'll see you online tomorrow, and I'll show you how to do some advanced deal sourcing and strategies to make good money due to COVID. Take care, guys. Have a good day.